Welcome back everybody to the channel. We finally have some more decks that we built, some more decks to talk about, and it's time to get back into it. It's been a few months since I posted new deck videos, but I'm excited to get back to it. We're gonna have probably 4 new decks up on the channel pretty soon, so probably over the next week or two, and you're gonna see the same deck multiple times with different cards in the deck that I like to use. So getting right into it, today we have Anowan the Ruin Thief. It's 2 blue and black. For a legendary creature vampire rogue, it's a 2/4. Other rogues you control get +1/+1. So it's going to be a rogue tribal deck. And then whenever one or more rogues you control deal combat damage to a player, that player mills a card for each 1 damage dealt to them. If the player mills at least 1 creature card this way, you draw a card. So this deck's going to be very mill centered, along with unblockable rogues to make people mill more, to, you know, just try and have the rogue synergy. If we mill them for if we mill them for creatures, then we get to draw cards. But there's a lot more than just rogues in this deck. But to get us started, I have my top 10 favorite cards in the deck. There's gonna be 2 videos of this. Top 10 favorite, kind of like creatures almost, and there's gonna be a top 10 more kind of like utility cards in the deck. So you'll see my top 10 rogues along with my honorable mention. Who's gonna kick us off right here. Let's put Anowan up over here. Honorable mention are all our unblockables that are in the deck. The deck does not function without these cards. So here are 3 1-drops there. There's a couple more here. So you're getting stuck to the mat here. They're hard to move. So we have 7 unblockables in the deck. Not kind of the ones that are in our top 10 list. So Change the Outcast, Shapeshifter, can't block, can't be blocked, should be in your deck if you're running, combat triggers and damage triggers, stuff like that. Trident Shore Stalker, and as you can see in the set list down there, ZNC, Zendikar Commander, it's the Anowan pre-con that was released during that time. Slither Blade, Ink Fathom Infiltrator, who I just picked up recently, going into this deck. And what I like about this card, it can't block and it's unblockable. It's a 2/1, so you get that 2 damage in, and then plus it's blue black, the half pips, so you can use either mana. Because something that I found in this deck is that I tend to miss colors a lot. I miss black or I miss blue, but this gives that kind of helps being able to use both colors for it. And then of course Invisible Stalker, also in the precon. Moraine River Prowler, human rogue, can't block, can't be blocked, and what's good about him, you can cast him from your graveyard as long as you control a black or green permanent, which in this deck you're probably gonna have a black permanent out pretty much at all times. And then last but not least, Looter Eel Core from I pulled him from a new Capenna commander deck. I took him out of there, put him in here. He has shadow, so that's why he's in there, and he's a rogue. And then when he does damage to an opponent, draw a card, then discard a card. So these are our honorable mentions. So you're gonna throw them all right there. Your unblockables, they should be in your deck if you're running a kind of like you have to make combat damage hit. So you use these to kind of get that damage in. All right, moving on. Number 10 on our list. Yeah, number 10, Sig River Cutthroat. This is in the precon as well. Either black or blue. You get 2 of them. Legendary creature, Merfolk Rogue, 1/3. At the beginning of each end step, an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn, you may draw a card. What's really important about this card is that it's at the beginning of each end step. So not only yours, but each opponent's. If an opponent lost 3 more life this turn, you may draw a card. So it's really good because honestly, most turns after that 3rd or 4th turn, people were just losing life kind of here and there. They're paying life to like crack fetches, or just stuff like that, or shock lands, or they're paying life to cast something. So honestly, most of the time you're probably gonna get to draw a card just because this is just on the field. You kind of just leave it there like that. So it's at number 10, fits the theme of rogues. Get you card draw, very important, and it's a 1/3. Can block some stuff if you needed to. Moving on real quickly, number 9, Frog Tosser Banneret. 1 in black for a 1/1 goblin rogue with haste. Goblin spells and rogue spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. So not very many goblins in this deck, but there are rogues. Rogues are important. Again, being able to play them for 1 less, even better. Number 8, is Soaring Thought Thief. One of my favorite cards in the deck, to be honest. It's a green, it's a blue and a black for a 1/3 flyer that does have flash as well. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in the graveyard, rogues control get +1/+0. So we want to pump our rogues that are unblockable. We want to make these 1/1s, 2/1s, 1/3s. Give them that extra power. Get in that extra damage, because there are other things that y'all will see in a future video that you will understand why we want to pump our rogues up and make them stronger. At number 7 is Stink Drinker Bandit. So a lot of these are cards that are in the precons, and then once you get past this one, it's going to be cards that have been added to the deck, cards that we've gone out and purchased and found that fit the deck very well. So this is Stink Drinker Bandit. This is also in the precon. So the first 4 have been precon cards from this deck. And this is a Goblin Rogue, 3/4, so 2/1. Whenever a rogue control attacks and isn't blocked, gets +2/+1 to a turn. So a lot of our rogues are unblockable, or they're flyers. So this gives them that +2/+1. And if you deal combat damage to a player this turn with a rogue or a goblin, you can cast it for its proud cost, which is 1 in the black. Usually, you're getting free damage in during your combat, and you bring this out your second main, and now it's on field for you moving forward. All right, so we're through the first 4 pretty quickly. We want to get those precon cards out of there, because if you're buying this deck or if you have this deck, you already have these cards. So these are cards that I've taken from other decks, I've taken from other sets, I've bought online, I've bought from my local LGS. And at number 6 is Cephalid Face Taker. 2 in a blue for a Cephalid rogue creature to 1/4. Cephalid Face Taker can't be blocked. At the beginning of combat on your turn, you may have Cephalid Face Taker become a copy of another target creature until end of turn, except it's 1/4 and has this creature can't be blocked. So it keeps its power, keeps its toughness, keeps the can't be blocked, but it becomes another copy creature though. So you have other effects, which you're going to see some right now from the other 5 cards I have ready to go here. You copy them, they stay rogues. You still hit your Anowan the Ruin Thief triggers for rogues doing combat damage. And it's just a really fun card. It's unblockable. I think being able to copy things and get kind of like double triggers off of stuff, it's really fun. So we're gonna look now, and this is from the Streets of New Capenna Commander deck, from the Obscura Operation deck. This is one of the cards that really sold me on buying the deck. I really wanted this card for this deck, so I have that one. You're gonna see some cards from it throughout my newer videos once they start rolling out here soon. At number 5, Blighted Agent. I don't know what set this is from, to be honest, but it's a 1 in a blue for a human rogue creature. It's a 1/1, and it has Infect. This creature deals damage to creatures in the form of -1/+1 counters, and to players in the form of poison counters. Blighted Agent is unblockable. Very important to have this in the deck. With all the pumps in the deck, so just from seeing what we have here, so Anowan gives it the +1/+1. Soaring Thought Thief gives it the +1/+0. Stink Drinker Bandit gives it +2/+1, because I mean it can be blocked, so it gets this already. So 2, 3, 4, so it's at 5 Infect already early on if you have these cards out, which most of the time you probably will have your commander out. Soaring Thought Thief is a 2-drop. Stink Drinker Bandit can be a 2-drop. These are things you can get out pretty early, and you put down Blighted Agent, and next thing you know, you possibly have like 5 infects on someone in just one swing. And there's other stuff coming up too that will also be pumping up our other rogues and such. So keeping that in mind, Blighted Agent at number 5. At number 4 is Zereth Sand the Trickster. 3, a blue and a black for a Merfolk rogue. His flash. It's 2 blue and black. Return unblocking attacking rogue you control to its owner's hand. So it has to be a rogue, which is the deck. Put Zereth Sand the Trickster from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Whenever Zereth Sand deals combat damage to a player, you may put target permanent card from that player's graveyard into the battlefield under your control. So I like this because we are looking to mill in this deck. And with Zereth Sand and all the unblockables that we have one of them swing in, can't be blocked. You essentially ninjutsu in Zereth Sand. You hit for 4 damage, and you get to play something from that person's graveyard, and you get to just play for free onto your field. This is one of my favorite cards in the deck. I really love doing like steel mechanics and stuff like that. So being able to take their stuff that you've made them mill is one of the funnest things to do. At number 3, Vargoth Bloodsky Sire. 2 and a black for a legendary creature demon rogue. It's a 2/3 with Death Touch. It has Boast. 1 and a black. Target player searches their library for a card, then shuffles their library and puts that card on top of it. So what's so great about this is that Boast activates ability only if this creature attacked this turn and only once each turn. So you have to attack, but it does have Death Touch. It is 2 power, 3 toughness. So unless they're killing it, you're getting to Boast. So you're essentially getting to tutor something to the top of your deck. And with the card draw on this deck, based off of Anowan, based off of other things, just being in blue and in black as well, you can kind of draw at will. So Vargoth being able to put exactly what you need on the very top of your library does help a lot. That's why he's at number 3 today. At number 2, we have True Name Nemesis. It's 1 and 2 blue for a Merfolk Rogue creature. It's a 3/1. As True Name Nemesis enters the battlefield, choose a player. True Name Nemesis has protection from the chosen player. Protection from that chosen player is this creature can be blocked, targeted, dealt damage, or enchanted by anything controlled by that player. So what's so great about True Name Nemesis is you essentially pick someone at the start of the game. If you get it down early, you're like, hey, you can't do anything to affect this card. And as I said earlier, there's a lot of pump things. There's a lot of ways to make things bigger, make things stronger. Anowan would give this +1/+1. Storming Thought Thief gives it +1/+0. Stink Drinker Bandit gives it +2/+1. So if you're swinging in with 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage a turn that can't be interacted with by that single player, you're kind of putting people in a tough position, I would say. A lot of people don't like when this comes out and you name them, because that means that they're getting hit every single turn by this and they can't do anything about it. So it's a really fun card. Just beware that you will make some enemies because of it, though. And at number 1, my favorite rogue in this deck is Thieves Guild Enforcer. It's 1 black for a human rogue creature. It's a 1/1. Has flash as well. So whenever Thieves Guild Enforcer or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2 cards. As long as an opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard, Thieves Guild Enforcer gets +2/+1 and has Death Touch. So 8 cards in the graveyard, especially in a mill deck that's mill centered. 8's not really that many. So it's essentially a 3/2 with Death Touch for 1 black. And has the extra ability, which makes it so much better, that whenever she or another rogue enters the battlefield under your control, each opponent mills 2 cards. And it's each opponent, not just one opponent or target opponent. Each opponent. So this can very quickly get out of hand if you get her down turn 1. Then next thing you know, you have Changing Outcast, Short Stalker, Slitherblade, Invisible Stalker, Infiltrator. They're all rogues. Luteral Core, rogue. The entire 9 of the cards that I just showed y'all, all rogues. And it's on ETB. So even if they're flashed out, even if they're jutsu'd out, if they're blinked out, this will hit people for 2 cards, and that 2 cards can add up pretty quickly when you're doing a bunch of 1-drops that are hitting the field. And each opponent pretty quickly can get a lot of cards milled out that way. So these are my top 10 favorite rogues in the deck. Just real quick, laying them out for y'all. Let's just move Anowan over here to the far right top of the frame. These Guild Enforcer at 1, True Name Nemesis at 2, Vargoth Bloodsky Sire at 3, Zereth Sound the Trickster at 4, Blighted Agent at 5, of course, Cephalid Face Taker is at 6, 7 is Soaring Thought Thief, 8 Stink Drinker Bandit, 9 Frog Tosser Banneret, and 10 Sig River Cutthroat. Have any suggestions for me? Any comments, concerns, or tips or other things that I could add into the deck? Let me know down in the comments below. Expect more of these videos coming. It's been a while since I put them out, so it might be a little bit rusty on my delivery and the way that I talk about my cards. I feel like I've talked about them better in the past. So let me get back into it here. Let me get back into it. But I do have more coming. Promise y'all that. With that being said, make sure to like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Drop a comment. Let me know what you think about the cards. If you don't like something, let me know. I know a lot of these cards can be kind of hate-berry because a lot of it can be blocked. A lot of different triggers on it. People tend to not like mill a lot, but it's what I play in standard when I'm playing on arenas. So I tend to use these cards a lot. It's a very fun deck for me to play. I like mill, even though it's not the best strategy, and people tend to target you once you start to see milling them a lot. But with that being said, have a nice day. Go out. I mean, shoot. Have a great day. See ya.